So I'm just doing a little bit of yard work, trying to preserve some seeds. I'll show you real quick. So right now, garden's looking a little. Garden's getting a little clean up. Lots of tomatoes. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 beds that are empty. But I'm gonna put some tomatoes in one of the beds here. This monstrosity is my loofah. See how these things get massively big. Like, look at that loofah back there. Insane. It's looking crazy out here. So right now all I'm doing is I have some sunflowers I need to. Jeez, Bug City. Get off there. Bye. I have some sunflowers. I'm gonna save the seeds. Get another sunflower here. All these little white speckles you see are seeds that I'm gonna save. I don't think I can use these here. They're just too small. Or dying. But I got a couple more that I gotta pop off. Then I have my sunflowers. Seeds that I'll just need to get some packaging for and be good to go. For now, they're gonna go this here. Brown bag. Check this out. Got a cantaloupe. It's pretty much ready now. It's starting now. The way I can know the difference is they'll start turning yellow like that, and you can smell it. Versus these guys here are still green. All these in here hanging out. Yeah, I can't walk that way. It's a gigantic watermelon in the spot. Got a watermelon hanging out in there. We got 1, 2, 3. Oh, there was one more around here. There's one in the back. And then there's one right here. So 4, not bad considering I've grown watermelon like crazy and never got them to get that big. So all right, some more sunflower seed harvest. The buds flying. Yeah, thousands of seeds. What I plan on doing is just saving the seeds and I'm gonna figure out how to get them online so I can either offer them as a something people can sign up for, or maybe even sell some. Again, I just want to make sure that they're going to be seeds that I can actually use. All right, some more. These are like mammoth sunflowers, and I think the other packet was wild sunflowers. So I'll look up online to make sure I label them correctly. But all I did is just let them just dry out here. Again, you got more. All those are seeds in there. Get off, get off, get off. Gigantic bugs on here. So yeah, more seeds. And then, yeah, Scott, I'm lucky enough I don't have too much of a bird problem back here or any type of critters that are always trying to like get into my garden. The only issue I have sometimes are bugs, ants. In my garden I have, what is it, 5 of these 1x6 beds I made from cedar fence picket, and then I have 18 of these 3x6 beds that I made with the same material. And then back here are 4x2 metal bins that I have, and then I have these big grow bags. Thank you. It was a lot of work, and then I also got 9 chickens back there. So I'm just trying to do a little bit of cleanup. Plan on starting some more seeds in my garage. That way I have something to put in these beds here. Because I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, zone 8A. And we just have a really long growing season, so just want to take advantage of that completely. And then here, this is basil. I've cut this now. I mean, it's starting to bolt. But thanks, man. Appreciate the encouragement. This here is will be my 3rd time cutting this here. And this is roughly like 6 to 7 pounds worth of basil. Okay. I imagine you have a lot more cooler seasons than we have here because I'm on the coast by the beach. And so here, these are my Roma tomatoes that are really ripe. So I'm gonna cut these things out and figure out, I either gotta can these guys or give them away or something. And then these here are, they call it like bumblebee grape cherry tomatoes with like a green reddish hue to them. But what's crazy is these seeds here that I bought from Johnny Select was maybe like almost like $10, and I honestly, I think I got somewhere between maybe 24 in a pack. So not a lot of seeds, and so I'm definitely saving tons of seeds if I can. Oh wow, that's, I can't even imagine. Was at the beach yesterday, and the water was like 80, 82 degrees. So, and it's only gonna get hotter. I think we had like 93 was like our high, yes, on like Wednesday. So, but this year I did a lot of flowers just because I wanted to promote a lot of, pollinators in the garden. So I have all these like massive like marigolds here, all grown from seeds that I saved from last year's garden. So I plan on clipping all these seeds here, and I'm gonna have like just a ridiculous amount of marigolds. Oh wow, 60. Eesh, that's frigid. I've been out, but I'm definitely not getting in the water before that. Maybe to fish. Um, then I grew okra, but I wanted to, I shouldn't have enough of it, so I just let it go to seed. The pods got gigantic, and I'll show you here. I save okra all the time, but this is here is okra pods full of seeds that I'm letting them dry, and then I'll harvest the seeds. So, yeah, like I made a video just how important it is, because again, it gets expensive. I grow everything in my garden from seeds, and that's just that can add up really, really quickly if you're not careful. So, save yourself some money, save seeds. You thank me later. And what I've been doing is propagating some of my plants here to make it save myself some time, but just some things you can't propagate. But I just harvest a bunch of corn out of the garden, and now it's time to, I think I'm gonna start some more corn. It's just a lot of work. I don't mind it. It's just a lot of work. I gotta do a better job with succession planting so that I don't have to worry about things all coming out at once. I can manage it a little bit more effectively. So what I plan on doing is fashioning a table, make some kind of like farm stand I can like put eggs on, and vegetables that I'll be able to put out to the neighborhood. Yeah, this is about 1/3 of an acre, and this garden space here, I'll take a step back. So this here on one end to the other is, I want to say it's like 30 by, or 30 by 40. And I've slowly kind of expanded this space a little bit. Before, this originally only had like 12 beds in it, and I added 6 more. So I did come out just a tad bit further. Again, I don't want to take up too much space. I do have my boat trailer back here, but my backyard, I have a huge yard, you know, chicken coop that's like, I think it's like 8 by 12, maybe 10 feet, the run itself. You have the coop, and then they have this 10 by 12 shed, this greenhouse, which is like 10 by 8. Yeah, I wouldn't say I necessarily, I do have grass, but it's more weeds if anything. And then I do have a bunch of fruit trees. Well, not a bunch, I mean 5, 6. That's a apple. No, that's an apple. A nectarine tree there. Another apple tree. That's just a tree that I got locally that was free, that they were donating. I think it's like a sycamore. That's a tangerine tree. That's a fig tree, which I cut back completely, and this thing has grown massively and starting to have figs show up. Which I was never a big fan of figs, but man, eating them right off the tree is delicious. And then I have this Meyer lemon tree here. So if you're gonna get like a fruit tree, honestly, this would be one I would recommend. A fig tree. Again, super easy to grow, doesn't require much effort, and it's kind of like instant gratification. I bought this, it already had like a couple of lemons on it, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 lemons. It'll probably flower again. And then I have this cool guy here. This is called a Vicks plant. It's more for medicinal purposes, but like leaves feel like very like velvet, and if you rub them, they will. It smells like Vicks vapor rub, and I'll propagate this here, and this thing will just take off. It's easily one of my favorite plants, and this used to be maybe this tall, and it's grown this crazy. Oh, you're gonna love it. They'll grow indoor, outdoor. I put mine in a pot, as you can see. At some point I might put it in the ground, but I figure when it gets cooler I can bring it inside. So, but yeah, it's just trying to beat the sun. Got to water the garden here, and like I said, I got some seed trays sorted together so I can get some seeds started. And the goal is to have these beds that are empty running again, because even though I grow for myself, I'm also kind of experimenting with where I can sell, to like individuals, but also be able to provide like starter plants for individuals that might have, be interested in their own plants. I mean, I've never seen prices at stores, but they're pretty expensive. And also just be able to sell like maybe to restaurants or grocery stores. So but again, a lot of what I just do is just for my own gratification, just because I do love gardening. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like, it's not that hard to. I'm gonna put my camera around quick. It's really not that hard to get into it. It's just a matter of having the right product and um, some means of distribution. I have a background in sales, so it's nothing for me to reach out to businesses and just ask questions if I walk into a store, or just kind of understand what they do from a produce standpoint and how they buy or source you know their their produce. So I've been able to link up with a couple of places that either I can do consignment, which again, not a big deal for me, only because what I do, if I don't eat it, it's gonna get compost, or I'll donate it. So to me, it's kind of like a win-win. Plus, I get to learn what customers are saying, so then I can apply that back here to my garden, so I can get more efficient with what I'm doing. And so my goal right now is just to put some kind of stand up where it's kind of like an honor system. You know, pay for what you take, but at the same time, I figure if you're gonna take something, you probably needed it. So, and then we're talking about vegetables here, honestly. Um, I've composted more than I like to admit, so I'm not gonna be hard pressed if someone decides to take something that they actually genuinely need, and rather than it wasting. So, well, I totally agree. Like, and luckily, I live in a neighborhood that's pretty decent size, and a couple other neighborhoods around here, and then we have like, obviously there's a number of different apps that you can get on that kind of broadcast out to the community what you have going on. So it does make it really easy. I mean, oddly, in North Carolina, they do require certain licenses in order to be able to sell stuff to like a nursery or a restaurant, only for like health reasons. They got to be able to track where it came from if there's some kind of outbreak. But again, really easy thing to get. There's not much barrier of entry to do it. But right now here it's it's almost 8 o'clock. The sun is already cooking. So I should have been out here right as the sun was coming up. It's just brutal. And another thing I'm gonna try, like, so I have green beans right over here, and I was like looking online because I was curious how, like, I've let beans go, dry up on, like, they're drying up right now. But I guess that's what you do if you want to have dry beans that you harvest, that you can cook with later, instead of just having like fresh green beans that you're picking and cooking. So I'm thinking about just doing dry beans as well. You just need obviously the months where it grows, mature, and then just let it dry out on the plant. But minimal effort. You don't have to worry about bolting. Super easy. 60. I mean, right now I don't say I would want 60, but I could use it temporarily. I don't even know what the temperature is right now, but I've been sweating. It doesn't help that I have long sleeves on and sweatpants, but that's only because I don't want bugs to bite me like crazy out here. But I try to share content, just obviously what I got going on in my garden, and just little tricks and hacks that I learned along the way. Before I got to this here, I used to have like probably a garden, one garden this size here, years back, and I've been at this house for like almost 20 years, and it's been a slow evolution to get to this point. As long as I've been gardening, I've never been able to grow watermelon that big. Now, whether I'll be able to enjoy it, we'll see. I have a video that I'm going to drop where I did harvest one just to see how it turned out. And then cantaloupes is another thing that I've grown, and it's just never mature. They'll be like really small, and then they either like rotten out on the bottom or something. So this is the most I've been able to grow, and I've already like harvested 2 from here. Oh, garden's just super relaxing. God, like it's arguably probably one of my favorite things to do. And the other part with my channel is I own a boat, so do a lot of fishing, and we just I'll share boat rides just because again it's cool to just watch boats on the water, and we have really great fishing here, so I have access to salt water. Yeah, you're right. Less is more is what I've learned. You're absolutely right. So with each of these beds here, I kind of did per bed. So in a sense, I was able to try different things that I probably would never grow. But then at the same time, I didn't have the quantity that I would like to have when it comes to being able to have something available to offer and sell. So if kind of looking ahead, what I'll do differently is maybe plant less of something, even though I might, even though I might like it. Be a little more disciplined with what I'm growing, sure that I have the quantity to have for like a market garden. So like, for example, I have again the bed of green beans, right? It's a lot of green beans if it's just me, but if I wanted to be able to give some or sell some, one bed is not enough. I would probably need 2 to 3. And I did get a little crazy again when I have 1, 2, 3. I had started with 3 beds of tomato plants, and now I have a 4th one, and I'm probably gonna have a 5th one. But I did specific varieties. So again, even though I have a lot of tomatoes, I'm spreading myself thin relative to like the type of tomatoes I'm able to offer. So I just need to focus and hone in on a particular kind that I want to grow lots of it, and then that's what I have to offer. That's what I'll eat. And I think that's okay. And then as much as I love growing these here in a bed, I either need a better trellis so that they can grow vertically, because these type of plants, the watermelon, the loofahs, they just need height. And because I don't have much margin between my beds to work with. You know, I'm talking about maybe just over a foot in my between my beds, and that was on purpose again, so I can have more beds I can add. I'm not worried about having like a wheelbarrow that I can walk through it. I can use a 5-gallon bucket to carry soil in and out. So it works for me. Maybe not, it wouldn't be for some, but I don't mind. It's compact, but I grow a lot. Before I sign off here, I just want to show one of my something I was able to do this past season, or this growing season. I grew a bunch of garlic, and so I've never had this much garlic that I've grown. This has been curing for about a couple of weeks now, so it's about ready for me to box up. Chaos is good. It helps, but it also can hurt you. That's a good problem to have. And then I have down here, these are white onions, and again, they're not as big as I maybe would have hoped them to be. Same thing with my garlic. Like, again, the bulbs are, some are smaller based on the cloves that I used, but most of the time whenever we're cooking with garlic, we don't use the entire bulb anyways, and we may use like half of it. And so I feel like these are size appropriate for what you typically would use when cooking, instead of wasting the garlic bulb. Same thing with onions. We oftentimes, if it's a big white onion here, you're using maybe half of it, putting it in the fridge, or you maybe go back to it, or maybe it sits in the fridge forever, and then you end up throwing away it anyway. So these here are like small lacrosse size ball. Again, single use size, which I think makes sense. So gonna get these probably need another week or two to finish curing, but I think these guys here are pretty much done. And then I have some corn here that I have drying out, that I just put out here, that I'm gonna try to save the kernels for seeds. They weren't the biggest. I just posted a video of the corn that I had growing, but like, yeah. Thanks, Scott, man. Like, I appreciate the love. So, yeah, if you like gardening content, you know, with a sprinkle of fishing, boating, and again, it may seem like they're separate things. Probably like the boating, but what's really cool is we have really great fish here that we can catch. And so, like, eventually what I want to be able to do is, I'm not there yet, but this is where my head's at, is be able to do like a sea to farm to table type of thing, where people can enjoy the fish and fresh vegetables from the garden. And I have a charter business that I started too, so I get to take people out that don't ever get to experience our water, and either fishing or for a boat ride. But at some point I'm gonna figure it out. The wheels are already turning. Like, how can I like couple all this together to create some cool experience for people? maybe not necessarily my backyard, but I can, if you go out fishing, catch something fresh, right? You know, I can prepare it and then source fresh vegetables that then, you know, someone that has better cooking skills than I do can prepare it and the family can enjoy it. And it's like a full circle. So I just make content for the things I love and love doing. And so if you're into that, yeah, make sure you give me a follow. I try to go live every day if I can. Again, whether it's here in my backyard, and I'll show you too. So again, just kind of tying it all together. So I have the garden here in my backspace, but just over this fence here, I have this here in my backyard. So this is fresh natural water, feeds into a creek that eventually goes to like the Cape Fear River on the backside of the wood line. So I will freshwater fish back here. I don't eat the fish from here just because we're in the neighborhood and you have, you know, runoff, but really great fishing that I can do back here. Doesn't require me to like do too much to get out here. Plus there's really cool wildlife. I don't see it right now, but there's a decent sized alligator out here. And then I am like 10-15 minutes from the beach, Carolina Beach, North Carolina. So that's where I keep my boat that, you know, run my business. And then, you know, we just go out, enjoy the weekend. Like yesterday we were out on an island, Mason Borough, half the day, and it was great. The water, I mean, we're in North Carolina, the water looked like it was the Caribbean. Like it was crazy. So I'm about to wrap up here. I'm gonna get some coffee, but I hope everyone have a great Sunday. And again, do me a favor, hit the like button, please share. At some point, I'd love to be able to do some kind of like giveaway as I start getting things together. As you can see, like I said, I'll have tons of seeds. Again, more than I would ever need. So there's no point in me holding on to it. I have plenty already to be able to do what I can to help out anyone that's really trying to get into gardening and, you know, just share content that will help. So make sure you check out some of the other videos that I do have on my channel. And if you have any questions or any comments, please drop them down below. As always, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see everybody later. Peace.